delighted to be here today at sunny Plumpton for the Star Sports video blogs for the Cheltenham Festival 2013, and I'm very much in esteemed company. I'm joined by three men that need no introduction, but I'm going to do it anyway. To my left, we've got Claude Duval, the Punters Pall from The Sun, Tom Lee, Channel 4, the betting expert, and Bill Esdaile, the City AM racing editor. So thanks very much for joining me, gents, and let's just crack on. The Queen Mother Champion Chase, another ridiculously short price favourite. I'm sure we all think we can get beat. Claude, I said last year I thought it was the best horse I'd ever seen before it won. It's gone on to prove that it's a cracking horse. You've got a few years on me. It's the best horse I've ever seen. Is it the best horse you've ever seen?
He's certainly the best two-miler, I'm sure of that. I think he's absolutely outstanding horse. I know you think I'm as old as Methuselah, but...
Sorry, who's Methuselah? I've never heard of it.
I wasn't there in 1966 when Arkle won the Gold Cup. He was 10 to 1 on.
Were you busy that day, Claude?
I think I was just doing my A-levels. I think you'll find that he would be the shortest priced favourite at the festival since the mighty Arkle. But from all we've seen, I mean, he's there for everybody to enjoy, really. It's a privilege to watch the way he runs and attacks those fences, and I think everybody will be watching him with great glee and anticipation, apart from N.J. Henderson, who was a sort of shaking wreck watching this horse. He said everybody else loves watching it, but he doesn't. I would say I can't understand the thinking that Finian's Rainbow could possibly run and take him on in this race. I mean, he's just run. I mean, he hasn't beaten a horse in his last two races in heavy ground at Ascot. So you know, he'd have to start now to be even in the first three, I think. Mail de Bervet, trained by Tom George, he made a drastic mistake, I think, in running it in the Denman. Clearly didn't stay, and the horse was bolting off in front. He's now been supplemented for 17.5 grand for this race, so they obviously think he's in there for some of the place money, but I think they'll all be watching Geraghty's backside up the hill there. I think the horse he really will come home alone. Unfortunately, we can't make any money out of him, really. That's the sad point.
You got 40,000 to win 10, Claude, isn't it? It's an average bet for a Tuesday afternoon for you.
Yeah, no tax.
No tax, exactly. Exactly. Well, no, I think Sprinter Seka is as close to a certainty as they come. Tom?
Well, look, rated 179, perfect 7 from 7 over fences, loves Cheltenham. What can you say? The only, I went through his entire profile preparing for this, and the only thing you can say, and it's not a criticism, it was 2 years ago, he was only third in the Supreme Novices Hurdle. He's older, stronger, more experienced, better, and frankly, he's something really very special. It's a privilege to watch him, and the key for us to sit here is to try and find out what's going to chase him home in second, indeed what's even going to dare take him on. I would throw my hat into the ring and say perhaps the horse that he absolutely routed at Sandown in December in the Tingle Creek, Sanctuaire of Paul Nichols's, who will use this as a stepping stone to go on and try and win another celebration chase back at Sandown, his favourite track, in April. So perhaps that'll be the 1-2 Sprinter Seka Sanctuaire.
To own a horse whose real negative performance was only third in the Supreme. Please God, let that happen one day. But Bill,
I mean, it's impossible to oppose. The only thing, if you were a layer, is his aggressive, the way he attacks his fences. There's always a chance you can get one wrong, and that's why the 3 or 4 or 5 that declare to take him on are there in the case that he might overjump, lunge, make a mistake. Things happen. If he stays up, he can't get beaten. The issue, you've got a very similar situation to you have with Franklyn on the flat, is the horse is behind, and they're ridden to come second, or they're ridden to try and beat him, because things like the Tom George horse, who Claude's going to pronounce for me, Mailed or whatever, he's going to fall in a hole. If he goes out in front and tries to trailblaze, he won't be able to stay with them, and he'll fall in a hole. If something is ridden with restraint behind, wishful thinking, for example, seemed a better horse last time ridden at Newbury with restraint. If he's ridden to come second, he could probably finish second. But I wouldn't want to be backing anything that's going to take Sprinter Seka on, because they'll have their heart broken between the second last and the last, and then finish legless. Sanctuaire, they've already said that the target is Sandown in April. He needs better ground. If it comes up good ground on the day and he's ridden with restraint, he may be able to weave his way through. But like Claude said, they'll all be chasing shadows on the day.
Well, during the summer we were all talking, is Franklyn the best horse you've ever seen? And it didn't jump a hurdle, so it's not a qualifier, is it really? It can't be the best horse you've ever seen if it doesn't jump, and we all know that. So Sprinter Sacre for me, the best horse I've ever seen. Definitely my selection for the Star Sports Super 8 competition, and I assume the three of you are agreeing with me as well.
Difficult not to. I mean, look at the others. I mean, look, it's very significant to pick up second or third prize money in the champion chase, and that realistically, barring an accident,
are you
is
laying
what they're
odds
playing
on
for.
the winning distance?
It's very difficult, Claude, because like you said, we've got 10 entries and we think 4 or 5 of them probably won't turn up, so it's hard to price up.
On the day,
we'll have the pitch with number 3 in Tats, as you know, will be there. There'll be the Ben Keith whiteboard in all its glory there with all sorts of specials on there, so the punters will be down. But 4 Sprinter Sacres for all of us.
I'm not going to actually put him in the Super 8. I would put Wishful Thinking in the Super 8 simply because you're going to get 0.25 or for 4 on. And I would prefer to give everyone else a 0.25 start, and I would put Wishful Thinking in on the basis that he might not get round. I know that sounds very, very negative, but any horse can fall this day, any horse can unseat. You know, when he's tracking through Tom George's horse, if that falls, it could bring him down. You just don't know in racing. And for me, I wouldn't want to be backing him at 1 to 4. I certainly wouldn't want to be putting him in a competition at 1 to 4. And I would go with Wishful Thinking, definite runner, has won round the track before. He's getting his act together, and I think he's a bit of value at 20.
Look at the calculating, conniving Esdaile.
For all those big punts, for all those people out there, Bill Esdaile is so confident of winning this competition. He doesn't even need 0.25 at a point. But prices 4 on Sprinter Sacre for all you big hitters out there. 400,000 to win 100. You know where we are. Pick up the phone. We're willing to lay it.